Hello, it's me, Muso, spinning records, spinning stories, and spinning yarn. Happy to see all new dogs out there after our first episode. Hope you enjoy your stay in Groove Town, population, Muso. Before we get going, a couple of comments last week riled me up from the videos across socials. My therapist said I should let them go, but he's full of it. Sally the Otter from Cambridge said I sounded like a Scouse mouse. I'm not a Scouse, Sally. Nothing against the Scouse. The Skeese Geese are an interesting indie band to check out. If I recall, they had a hit in the 90s. Cannot recall the name of that song. Something to do with me not being Scouse, Sally. Moving on. Mind you, that's not bad, actually. Here's a feature for next week. See if you can guess which part of the UK I'm from. I'll give you a clue, Sally. Yeah, not Liverpool. Now, let's have a little chinwag about what's been happening around the indie scene this week. First up on our docket today is a follow-up story from last week. Mewgenics, the tactical dark comedy roguelike from Edmund McMillan and Tyler Glale, launched and has been a glowing example of indie success. After 14 years in development, this calico cloning game has caused a colossal commotion, with an average review score of 89 on OpenCritic, making it the highest reviewed game of the year so far. Selling over 1 million copies in its first week, this tomcat tomfoolery has struck a chord with the public too. According to the creators, it made back its production budget in the first 3 hours. Oof. Those two must be bloody minted at this point. Just goes to show that no matter how weird your idea might be, if you just put in a bit of love and a whole lot of effort, you can make your dreams come true. Now, the new news. Evil Empire, not my previous bosses, but the studio behind the DLC content for indie darling Dead Cells, has announced their new project. If you followed Dead Cells at all, then you would know it's got a Castlevania themed DLC back in 2023. Well, they've still got some vim and vigour for vampire themed ventures, as they've announced their brand new game, Castlevania, Belmont's Curse. In a lonely full-circle moment, the devs at Evil Empire have gotten the chance to make a fully fledged Castlevania game on their own. Speaking for myself, I'm proper chuffed to see this studio take on the classic series. I wish them all the best in realising their dream when the game releases later this year. You can check it out on PC or console and give it a wishlist. Now, from a dream to a nightmare, a little nightmare specifically, we've got the release of the much anticipated new series from Tarsier, the developers behind the much loved Little Nightmare series. Now, as we haven't seen a new game from them in donkey's years, I bet there's loads of you out there straining at the bit to dive into another delightfully dodgy and dismal world. Well, good news for you. The reviews are tickety-boo, citing a thick and creepy atmosphere with some proper dishy visuals. Be aware, however, some say the online co-op can be a bit spotty, so if being cold, wet and scared with a friend is your idea of an ideal Friday night, then maybe you'd swap places with me next time I've got to hide from those street cats. But barring that, this game might be the next best thing. I've had quite a lot of little nightmares. I'm mainly naked in most of them, but that's for another time. Interestingly, my therapist says I have PTSD. Now, if you're looking for some co-op, that's more, nearly said coop there, there's... Can you imagine putting me in a coop? I'll put the mouse among the chickens. Yeah. What? Now, if you're looking for some co-op that's more wholesome than horrific, this next one might be for you. Big Walk is an upcoming hiking-based cooperative adventure for you and up to 4 of your mates, from the same blokes that brought you Untitled Goose game. This looks to bring the same chaotic and silly energy, but this time on a grander scale. Instead of terrorising a small town, you're wandering the wilderness, completing puzzles and working together to complete this adventure, with the intent of forcing you to communicate. This game looks to build friendships and make those memorable moments you only get from a good night of co-op gaming with the lads. I'd invite these feathered fowl to play it with B, but just look at them, they're helpless.
Really?
2 weeks ago, I went on a big walk with the lads from Clare Obscure at Sandfall. Met them in a pub in Dorset before heading to a rave. We had a wonderful night. I got my friend Sally to take a photo of us while we were there. We were all very happy that night. Very happy for them as well. More on that later. If you're looking for something free, bloody cheapskate, then check out the demo for the brand new 3D platformer from Fabraz, Demon Tides. Oh, sounds like a cleaner, Fabraz. Fabraz your worries away. With a bubbly and colourful art style, this game lets you traverse treacherous terrain using a whole suite of shape-shifting moves. Bloody hell, that's a lot of alliteration. Don't be fooled by the cutesy coverings. Underneath is a proper difficult platformer. Fans of the genre are raving about the depth of its movement and the freedom it offers. I feel tired just looking at those Muso's acrobatics, I feel free enough spending my days on the couch with a bit of nosh. Out now, you can dip your toes into the demon waters with the demo and dive right into the demon tides with the full game. Now, to wrap up our indie insights for this week, here's a story from the boys across the channel that brings us back to the aspiration of indie dreams from the start of the episode. The lads over at Sandfall Games, maker of the indie smash hit of last year, Expedition 33, have somehow managed to get another award. Big surprise, this time however, it's not from the press, but from the French government themselves. Ooh! 28 key members of the team over at Sandfall were officially knighted in the Order of Arts and Letters, joining the likes of Michael Ansel, I think it's pronounced Michelle, Shigeru Miyamoto, and is there any award left out there they haven't won? Maybe someone should give them a first place polling trophy just for the hell of it. Well, this has been lovely, nice to see you again. As you can see, the audience is growing, a couple of vampire-clad ducks here, and what I'd like to see is some more of you coming along next week. So I'm hoping next week I can turn the footy off and people will just listen to me. But they scored a goal. They scored a goal. Anyway, I've been Muso. Join this mousy mug next week if you want to get your mitts into some more indie magic. Ooh, lovely that. Bye. They scored. It's a goal.